and her dad was the one leading them. And I see the camera pan over, and I used to perform. I used to fawn, and so I was like, "Hey, that's me!" And it was crazy because I had seen Rita's page, and she's doing retreats in San Diego, and I was like, oh, I love San Diego. I want to go out there. I want to meet her, and now I'm meeting her. Like, thank you, Alina, for this. Like, this is crazy.
That's wild. That's so wild. I feel like our, like the timing, divine timing, alignment, and we talked a lot about spirituality, but before we get there, I was really interested in your story about growing up in Atlanta, because I'm from North Carolina. Mm-hmm. You don't hear a lot of stories about Lao people in the South, right? East Coast! East Coast. So y'all better be loud and proud. Yeah, in the South. But, I was, looking at Hopi's story, and, she my Nong Sao, and I was, so curious to know, what was your particular experience like growing up Lao in Atlanta? Was it in proper Atlanta, or little outskirts, or where was it at?
I like to call it the outskirts, because I grew up in the suburbs.
Yeah.
And Atlanta is like what people know Georgia to be. And growing up is, I grew up in a Korean majority school.
Wow.
And so people are like, oh, are you Korean? I'm like, no, I'm Lao. And they're like, what's Lao? I'm like, okay, the country, Thailand? Yeah, it's the one next to it. So it makes me feel unique. It makes me proud, because you don't meet a lot of Lao people, apparently, in Georgia, for me.
Not in the South. So where was the closest Lao person?
There's a big Lao community out there in Georgia. There's like North Side, South Side, Gwinnett, everyone.
Dang, everywhere.
Everywhere.
Dang, okay. So you grew up in a predominantly Korean school. Yeah. And then what was the organizing like for Lao people? Did you go to a temple? Did you fawn? Oh, I saw you fawn.
Yeah.
So, for those who don't know what fawn means, like doing the traditional Lao dance.
Mm-hmm.
So
I actually grew up dancing ever since I was 12 years old, a part of Laotian American Society. And then when I graduated, I was like, okay, let me take some time to be an adult, go to college. And then, me and my friends, we decided to make a older team, Payanak dance crew.
Oh.
Yeah, and so I think it's 2-3 years now that they've been doing it.
Wow.
I took myself out a little bit to focus on my music career, but we're there all to preserve the culture and preserve the heritage, because if it's not us doing it and teaching the next generation, who else is it gonna be?
Period. Who else gonna carry it? Who else gonna carry the team on their back? That's tough. That's a lot of work. So I want to talk a little bit more about what being Lao means to you, and how growing up in Atlanta has shaped how you identify now. Because you brought up San Diego, you brought up traveling to different places and doing music and whatnot. But what does being Lao mean to you, and how does that perhaps reflect on your sense of self?
I think for me, in my family, my mom, she's the main breadwinner, and my mom, she had to carry a lot on her back.
Ooh.
Because her dad passed away, and my grandma relied on her and everything. And so I see women, don't get me wrong, I love men, I love everybody, right?
But we talking about women now.
We talking about women right now. I have strong women, independent women in my life, and so that just pushes me to be, I guess, what's the word?
Aren't you the eldest daughter?
Yeah,
too?
just strong.
How many of us are eldest daughters in the crowd?
Right here.
Okay, eldest daughter club. So y'all are late.
Yes, and it's tough because we gotta put on a smile and make sure everything's good, and then still be feminine at that. And so just being loud, it's it gives us that edge. Yeah, I'm loud.
Ooh,
you know what I mean?
Loud and proud.
Loud and proud.
I know, that's right. And so being loud it's like being unique at the same time. I wonder if also it means being or feeling invisible.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Growing up. Yeah. Like in the context of if you go in a classroom and teacher goes oh, where are you from? Your last name sounds like it doesn't sound familiar. How do you respond to that?
It's funny. A lot of people down there, they're like, so where are you from? I said, I'm from Georgia. And they're like, no, where's your parents from? I'm like, well, okay, Laos.
So that's what you asking.
Right. And sometimes I make them guess because it's like, oh, let's make it fun, see where they think I'm from. They'll name everything. I even made a rap about it for Sabaody Fest. It was like a freestyle rap.
Ooh.
And, in the song, I say, they'll be asking me, is you Korean, Chinese, Japanese, or Vietnamese? And then I tell them, no, you can guess again, I'm Lao.
Ooh.
And they're like, wow. And it's like growing. A lot of people are starting to recognize what Laos is.
Yeah.
And so that's good. But
yeah. Snaps. Yes. So identity seems to be like almost like something that comes up a lot in your music, right? I mean, we're hearing it, right? Like, and we're talking about it. And then you also have a brand called Stay Yeller. Hey!
Stay Yeller.
Stay Yeller, y'all. Talk about how did Stay Yeller come to be about?
So in high school, in order for me to like get an A, because my mom, she's like, you better get an A, and
we not no B Asian.
So I was
no, that's right.
Exactly.
Drama. Triggered. Man, we gotta make light of it, man. We've been through some stuff. Okay, let me tell you, we've been through some stuff. Okay.
But yeah, so Stay Yellow is like, okay, I want to stay positive. Let me get this good grade, look good. I would do my makeup, feel good, and do good. I get me an A. But then it's also like Stay Yellow because obviously we're yellow. And then I changed it to Stay Yeller because we're in the South. I'm obsessed with Medea. And, she's like, hello, how you doing? You know what I mean? So I'm like, shit, Stay Yeller. And it kept going. So we're here now. I want to grow it more this year.
Yeah. Thank you for explaining that. It sounds like Stay Yeller is like a movement, right? About identity. But also you talk about mental health too in your bio.
Yes.
And so I want to know, and I'm sure folks want to know too in terms of like mental health, like, what has that been like in terms of your journey, like healing and, I know we haven't gone into a lot of the deep stuff, but we talked about a little bit before, but in general, what has been your mental health journey been like? And why are you so passionate about it?
I feel like I'm passionate about it because we don't talk about our mental health in the Asian community, at least in my family. I don't want to speak on other people, but we don't have words to explain what depression, anxiety, stress, really,
Grief.
it's just all of it. They take it in and they don't express themselves. And so I went through a depression phase, very bad. And, I was hospitalized twice. My bad ass, I was smoking weed. Don't smoke, guys. I mean, if you do, cool, but I can't. But so that changed my perspective on life, and I could have been gone one day, and I'm still here, and I don't want to take that for granted, And so I want to make my family proud because they went through war. They came here into a country not knowing the language, not knowing what to do, and so it's like the least I can do is channel my inner vision and channel my inner passion to represent my people.
Boom.
Yeah.
Right there. Yes. Thank you so much, Hobe. I know it takes a lot of courage and bravery to share about your mental health journey and also about healing and also transforming pain into power. I think, you're such a great role model for our younger generation. Don't y'all think? Don't y'all believe? Yeah. Like, it takes so much to name, right? To say, like, I'm not okay, right? And I need help. So many of us in our community, and I'm sure not just the Lao people, but like in other communities where it's like, I got to be the strong, independent, badass person, right? And behind, we're crying, we're grieving.
Right. Yeah.
We're trying to figure it out, but we have to put on a mask and say like, I'm okay. But half the time we're not okay. We're not okay. Look at my dad, and I was like, but at the same time, we are resilient. We figure it out, right? And I was telling Hopi earlier about, sometimes, violence or trauma has become normalized in a lot of our community. And it takes sometimes a special mentor, a femtor, somebody, a leader in the community to say, you know what, that's not okay, right? A lot of stuff that we're experiencing now, with what we see, on TV, people being deported, our people being deported, our people, families being broken apart. That all is like, not normal, right? And so, doing what we do now, doing Stay Yeller, channeling our energy, right?
Yes,
our
to
pain
better
into
things.
power.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all it's about. Growth. We're always gonna grow, and change is the most consistent thing in your life. And so
Say it again.
it is.
So I want to ask Hopi, what is words of advice that you would give to your younger self, or words of encouragement?
Words of encouragement is to follow your dreams. Don't let no boy, no girl get in the way of your career.
I know that's right.
If they telling you to stop, you better go on and do your thing, boo. Do your thing. Because that's why you're here. You know what I mean? That is your passion. That is your vision. That's why you was born, because you were an accident. So,
Oh,
yeah.
that's so beautiful. And finally, before we wrap up, wanted to ask you, what does Healing Out Loud, that's loud, Laod, mean to you?
It gives me a sense of strength and community, and make me realize that there's other people out there like me. Because, we all go through struggles, and some other people might not relate to our story. And I'm glad you're here. I'm like, manifestation is real, guys. Like, what?
Yes.
So I'm just glad that we're talking right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much, Kapcha Lai. And this is definitely one of a kind experience. I just hit up Hopi. I think it was like 2 days ago. I was like, hey, would you like to be on the show? Would you like to talk about mental health and some of the most important topics that a lot of us don't know how to talk about it, right? We don't have the words. It wasn't until I went to grad school. I was like, oh, so this is depression. Oh, so this is perfectionism. Oh my God, I'm grieving. Like, all these things that we don't know, that it's okay to feel, right? And so I think, I hope that folks take away from this is that there's strength in numbers and power too, for us to come together and also say, you know what, let me get some help. It's okay, right? In a non-judgment and safe, compassionate way. So any final words, Hopi, that you would like to impart to, the crowd tonight?
Hey, we finna get turned a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And Stay Yeller.
So give it up for Hopi one more time, y'all.
Thank you, guys.
All right, so I think we have a little intermission before we actually see Hopi perform and channel her wisdom.